All right, when you're ready, Jeff.
Nice.
What?
I can see the alien and the face hugger.
Are you streaming?
I got 4 of them in screen.
Oh, you're not streaming. Okay. Yeah, he's got the face hugger. He's got the squatting one, and then
Face hugger, big xenomorph. I got the little crouched xenomorph. I got the slumber party xenomorph, and then I got the yoga.
I was trying to find the 4th xenomorph.
Oh, sorry.
I didn't see the one underneath the mic.
Yeah, it's kind of hidden down there. What's up, everybody? Welcome to the 127 podcast, the only podcast
that raves.
Okay, yes.
My bad.
That was a good one.
We need more impromptu raves on this channel.
My name is Jeff, and I'm joined by my fellow Wayland-Utani employees.
I'm your.
Actually, I have my bad.
God, fucking damn it! Oh shit! Wow, that was fast.
I'm an employee. I love mining. I love it. It's just so healthy for my body. It's good.
What's everybody's names? For fuck's sake.
Um,
I'm Dominic.
I'm Yul.
I'm a synth. I'm gonna be the synth.
You're gonna be the synth?
Oh
I'm
god.
the synth.
This is
I'm the synthetic.
That's not good.
Well, what's my name though?
You just start spitting up milk.
But I'm coming.
Except if you remember in Alien vs. Predator, Wayland-Utani is actually the guy from Aliens, the synthetic robot.
But then in Prometheus, it was actually someone else.
Nine.
Oh, fuck, you're right. It's the same guy, Jeff.
Yeah. Did they actually change it in Prometheus? I don't even remember.
Wayland was like there on the ship.
This guy.
Why
Well,
would
in
they change
Prometheus,
that?
is Guy Pearce.
That's dumb. I liked it better when he was in Alien vs. Predator and he was an actually good guy and he was an actually good written character because Alien vs. Predator clears Prometheus and Covenant and all that dumb shit.
It's honestly a pretty underrated movie.
It's good.
I have to rewatch
I
it.
just recently watched it. It's not as good as you think it is.
I watched it like 2 years ago and I will say it was better than I remember it as a kid.
It's better than Requiem and 3 and 4.
Yeah.
Those bars are in hell. It doesn't take much to hear
That's
those.
true. That's
Yeah.
true.
Oh,
Yeah.
we're
Getting ahead of ourselves.
We're getting ahead of ourselves.
Today, we were going to talk about the Robert Downey Jr. announcement at Comic-Con, but then you know what? Then we got D23, and we were going to talk about D23 and all the announcements there. But we figured instead of shitting on that Disney side of it, we were going to another Disney side. We all recently, this past weekend and this past week, just saw Alien Romulus. So we are going to be talking about it, our thoughts on the film, maybe some things we liked and didn't like. We're going to talk about the divisive ending. So obviously there are going to be spoilers ahead for the entire franchise. That's Alien, the Alien versus Predator, the Prometheus bullshit. It's going to be all lore that we know of. We're going to be talking about it here. We're going to get sidetracked. We're going to get sidelined. We're going to get railed from behind. Everything is going to happen here today. So you know what? If we miss something, go ahead, put it in the comments. Just don't get mad at us. Or you know what? Maybe get mad at it. I don't give a shit. Like and subscribe. Comment down below. Hit that bell notification so you get notified when we talk about more stuff. And share this video with your friends.
I will be our luxurious moderator today. God help me. Just to save my sanity with editing. We're going to cover 4 points. Choosing a side of history going into the film. General thoughts and overall previous Alien movie experiences will be our first topic. Followed by, I don't even really want to do a readout, honestly. Let's just jump into it. Who enjoyed this film? I felt like there was decisiveness in the group chat. So
like all of us.
Yeah, we all enjoyed it.
We all liked it, right? Okay.
Yeah.
So we were just fighting over like the last 25 minutes.
I believe that was the discourse.
That was the big thing?
Yeah.
Okay. So who is on the pro side of the last 25 minutes?
Wait, are we really getting into that?
We're not getting into that, but I want to just see like a show of hands, just to like build teams in my head for later. So you guys liked it? So it's us 3 that liked it. and then you guys.
I just didn't like one specific thing about it. That's all.
Okay.
Which we'll talk about that
Well,
later.
so like right now, I kind of just want to kick it off with like going into the film. For me personally, I hadn't seen an Alien product till this year. Like I think I saw like Aliens a long time ago with like my brother or some shit. But I took my fiance, to go see Alien in theaters because they were doing. Well, shut up! It's for the audience. It's not for you. They re-released the original Alien in theaters, and I went to take her to the re-release. And she really enjoyed it. I didn't think she would like it because it's a very slow burn film. I think she was high. And yeah, she had a really great time. So it was really cool to like relive the Alien experience. I've been playing Alien Isolation for you guys for years now. Yeah, for years now. But yeah, I was like really excited going into it because for me, it's been a while since I've seen like a good Alien product. Like I know I got burned with like Covenant and what was the other one? Prometheus. Like those last two pissed me off so bad that I'm like, I just don't want to do anything with this. And I've never seen any of the AVPs, but you guys have like spoke really highly about it. So
not like that highly, but it's fun.
You say they have their place.
It's as highly as you could speak of like Freddy
versus Freddy versus
honestly,
that's exactly what I was gonna say.
Honestly, like beyond Alien and Aliens, the bar is so low to clear that Alien versus Predator is like the third best movie in the franchise up until now. But
yeah,
like
I agree.
It's the bar's not high.
Because I was talking to a friend, and she also said that she wanted to see the last two, and I was like, I don't even remember them. I just remember like being pissed, and I'm like, they're just not worth your time at this point.
Prometheus here.
I fucking hate Prometheus. I did not like that movie. It was such a waste of time.
I thought that was gonna be a section that we're gonna talk about.
This is previous Alien movie experience, so I'd say it meets it. That's cool.
Prometheus, I didn't hate, but I definitely dislike it. Like it's not a fun movie to watch. Like at any point, I don't think there's a point where I was like, I enjoyed this. Maybe just a very
like mid. Then would you say it's just like definition of mid? Like
it's
not great, not bad.
It's slightly below mid for me.
Okay.
But yeah, it's I don't know, like the pacing didn't feel great. Like the balance between like suspenseful horror stuff and like the fucking exposition heavy lore dump they tried doing with the engineers and stuff, like it wasn't great. And even when there were like, I don't know, horror parts, it just, I don't know, there weren't good parts to it. Like there wasn't anything that had me on the edge of my seat. It was more like just nasty stuff, you know, with the fucking baby. It was an octopus or some shit, right, Jeff? Like the alien octopus thing.
Yeah.
That was fucking disgusting. The snake thing, it was just ew. It left a bad taste in my mouth.
You talking about AVP?
We're talking about
No,
Prometheus.
Prometheus.
Remember all that shit.
Yeah, you don't need to.
You don't want to.
Oh, okay. Okay, I actually do have one more thing to say.
Sure.
Because, you know, Jeff was kind of stomping on it a little. But I want to disclaim that I am a Covenant enjoyer. I enjoyed Alien Covenant like pretty thoroughly.
Meat Rider.
I do ride that meat like pretty hard, like pretty gay, honestly. Like how hard I ride that meat. But meat riding aside, I don't think there's anything in that movie that like, you know, it hit all the notes for me. It was still doing like the philosophical shit that Prometheus introduced while having like a xenomorph horror element, which is funnily enough kind of the exact dynamic that was going on behind the scenes, because you know Ridley Scott, he wanted to do his Prometheus who's our creator type shit, and Fox was like, hey, you need to do more xenomorph shit, and that's kind of how Covenant is made. You have those two.
Actually.
Actually, yes.
Actually.
We need the reader's context.
It was. This is why I hate Ridley Scott. This exact situation. I'm gonna bust through it quick because I could rant about it for like 45 minutes and nobody wants to sit through that. Not even myself.
I don't want to cut that.
So, Prometheus was supposed to be a trilogy. The original intent was that the word alien, the xenomorph, wasn't even supposed to show up until the last shot of the third film. This was all planned out. Everything was done. Everything was greenlit to go. Fox wanted another Alien film, like a mainline film, so they gave Neil Blomkamp Alien 5, and he had begun pre-production on it, had, concept art and stuff, and he was ready to shoot. He had even cast Sigourney Weaver and the girl who played Newt and the guy who played Hicks and the robot dude too. I forget all their names. All 4 of them were set to reprise their roles, and this was going to be set up after the movie Aliens and retcon cool. Alien 3 and 4. Perfect. That sounds great. Whatever. It's going to continue all that crap. That's cool. Ridley Scott went to Fox and got angry and said he can't make his movie until I'm done with Prometheus. Fox said, okay, you can finish your trilogy. After he got the okay to do it, Ridley Scott said, well, now it's going to be a 7-movie franchise. And the next movie, we're changing the name. It's going to be called Alien Covenant. And Fox was like, okay, I guess. And then that's why he totally ditched his trilogy idea, extended it out to 7 shitty movies to kill Alien 5. Because he threw a fit, because he's a little bitch, and then that's what happened. And then Alien Covenant came out, and guess what? It killed his franchise because it was not, to me, not great.
Technically true, but also, I mean, Fox got acquired at that point too, so
that's true.
It's kind of hard to say. Like, I mean, it definitely was like a lower point for the franchise after Covenant came out, because it didn't even make as much money as Prometheus did when that came out. So that was definitely like a low point for the series, but. I mean, I don't think you could say it killed Alien also, because fucking Disney bought them right after. So who knows what would have happened if Fox had never gotten bought out. Like, I feel like with how badly it performed, maybe Scott wouldn't have directed the 3rd one, and they would have had some other director come in for the final film in that trilogy. But we're just...
Neil would have done a good job.
Oh, yeah.
Neil
for sure.
Fucking knock that shit out of the park. I would have been all over that shit.
Yeah, if Fede could do as good as he did with this one, like, I 100% think Neil could have done just as good.
On my radar now.
Adding what?
I've seen enough of Fede to go like, yeah, you're goated.
Yeah,
I like your style.
Have you seen Don't Breathe?
Yes, I like that.
I wanted to interject real quick on the whole lore thing, because I do have the Wikipedia up right now. So as of after the whole acquisition thing, it was stated that 21st Century will still continue to create new horror films, or create new stories, in the Alien series. But it was uncertain due to the disappointing box returns of Alien Covenant. In September 2020, Scott confirmed that a new Alien film was in development, but it was unclear if it would be a sequel to the Alien Covenant. And then in 2021 of August, a news report concluded that a sequel was very uncertain. So it sounds like Scott's kind of like in developmental hell right now. And that has nothing to do with Fede's project, because that's directly beneath this.
Oh, so Scott is still technically in charge of his Alien movies?
At least from what I'm reading right here, that's what it sounds like.
Let's hope that stays in developmental hell.
Yeah, I did want to say, like, probably my favorite part of Covenant was Michael Fassbender.
Yeah.
Like, he was fucking awesome in that movie. Like, just being able to play, like, 2 different, like synthetics, like, opposing each other, like, that was fucking cool to see.
The twins, right? Quote unquote.
Yeah, like, they're very similar, but there's just such a deviation that you could tell they're different.
Right.
But fucking fantastic work. I think it's one of my favorite works from him.
Remember when he kissed himself?
Yeah. That
I tried to forget it, but
blow my flute and all that shit. Yeah,
blow my
great.
What?
Yeah.
I view Prometheus, mainly Prometheus, not Alien Covenant, as like Nickelback, where like eventually you grow up and just realize that it is really fucking good.
Look at the photograph.
Prometheus is. I watched Covenant and that shit.
Wait, you like Prometheus?
Oh, I like it more. I just don't like the CG in Covenant of the aliens.
That's fair.
It just threw me off.
Like a puckered butthole.
I didn't like that. I didn't like when it looks like a fucking anime like villain. like a KKK member, like a super KKK member.
It's so super KKK that the
And Michael Fassbender's like, oh, just like, oh my god, look, it's not killing me. I don't know. The CG was weird in that one. But Michael Fassbender's like my thing. I think the reason I like Prometheus more is because like I don't know if it was just me because I just didn't pay attention, but I remember seeing like the first teaser trailer of it and not knowing that it was Alien or it was some kind of snippet. And I just thought, oh, cool. I like sci-fi. I like the sci-fi horror setting, like something in space. And then I went and watched it, and I'm like, wait, the fuck? This is Alien? I'm like, so like to me that was like cool. I didn't watch anything else after it. Like after that first snippet I watched, so maybe that's why I kind of like liked it more. I don't know. I thought the lore dump was cool, the Promethean shit, but Covenant happened, and I'm like, okay, I still like the aesthetic, but it's just the alien that throws me off. The actual aliens, the actual xenomorphs. I don't know. I just didn't like the CG.
I think it's really interesting that you guys have this conversation right now because, like, I watched those movies when they came out, and I'm just now realizing that those movies came out, like, in 2012 and 2017.
Yeah, I saw Prometheus 12 years ago, and I died a little inside.
That's wild.
I felt that, yeah, because, like, that would make me, like, 14, and that was, like, when I was finally, like, starting to watch, like, horror movies a little bit more consistently.
Yeah.
And so now I'm just kind of like, maybe I should go back and give those movies a chance, because I definitely did like skimp over the lore dump and shit. I'm like, I don't care, just show me the alien. Like I want to see like Alien and Aliens too. Like I want to see the xenomorphs fuck people's shit up and like people fighting to survive. So that's really interesting because I
had no idea.
Yeah,
I had no idea it was Alien, so maybe that's what held me.
Prometheus, I remember buying that. That was my first DVD, Prometheus and the Alien anthology. Yeah, I remember buying those like right as soon as I started working at Regency, so 2013. Yeah, and then I remember I was working at the San Diego Theater in 2017 when Covenant came out, and we went to see it at my theater, and it was just, I remember walking out and going like, God damn it, you fucked it up again.
I actually had that vibe too. When I watched it in theaters, and when I remember coming out of it, I'm like, something just doesn't
click.
It doesn't click. Yeah,
it was like fine, but it's just.
I wouldn't even give it fine, to be honest. It just, I don't know, something's off on that one.
Because he was rushing shit. Remember I said he turned a trilogy into a 7-movie thing, and he was just trying to be a little bitch.
And it became a 2-movie thing.
Anyways, we're going off. Are we?
No, I think we're like really well within the range because like I think the only other thing we can really cover is like general excitement and like going into the film for you guys.
That was like history. Let's
that was like history.
Videos about.
That's true. So like, how did you guys
Romulus.
feel to the film?
Wait, hold on.
Yeah, don't let me talk
at your thing real quick.
Oh, I'm sorry, Dom. Did you want to say something?
I mean,
I thought that was an open floor.
It's an open floor. Yeah.
No, you guys literally went, and then Jeff was like starting to move on.
Like, I'm sorry.
I didn't know it was turns. My bad.
You guys were.
Do you want turns? I wasn't doing turns.
Forget it.
I did do turns.
No, I didn't say you were in turns. So you guys had.
All right, Dominic, go ahead.
Like, goodness, talking.
No, go ahead, Bozo.
Right, well,
you have the floor, Dom.
No, I feel like I stated before how like growing up, like if it was Team Freddy or Team Jason, I was Team Jason, and for a while I was when it was Alien or Predator, I was more of the Predator. But I think at this point in time, I feel like I'm more Alien now, maybe.
Do you mean as a franchise, or do you mean like literally?
As a franchise, probably. Right?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
I would say probably franchise more, but they drop another Predator movie, I'll go see it.
Yeah, I got you.
Actually, wait, hold on. No, the last Predator was really good. So
Prey was really good.
The last two Predators.
Prey was amazing.
I think Predator's cooler, but
we know you liked it, Jeff.
Better movies are Alien.
Wait, what was the last
Predators? Predators with Adrian Brody.
No,
we're not. We're talking about the 2018 Predator.
The one where he's hunting down the autistic kids.
Shut up.
Yeah, I know.
You're talking about the Topher Grace one.
Yeah,
I like that one too.
That's the Adrian Brody where Topher Grace is the bad guy.
Yeah,
Prey is great.
Anyways, I appreciate both, and I think like Alejandro, I didn't realize Prometheus was tied to Alien at all until I like sat down and watched it. I was like, oh, this is Alien tied, and then like everyone else, I was disappointed about Covenant. And then going back,
everyone else
minus Anakin.
I'm not part of that. Yeah, minus me.
You like Covenant?
Yeah, dude,
I smuggled a bunch of Covenant merch to Anakin when I got back from San Diego.
2 posters from Covenant in my room right now.
That's unfortunate.
Hey, they had some good posters for that movie. They had some good posters for that movie.
But going back and watching like Alien and Aliens, like I've grown to appreciate the Alien franchise more. I haven't dabbled with Cubed or 4, and I probably won't. It's like Alien Cubed.
It's
the
a small
three,
thing.
the
Yeah,
small
I agree.
Yeah.
I agree. Yeah.
But I'm hopeful. I am hopeful that we get better or as good as Romulus, like going forward.
How'd you feel like going into it? Because like I think I was like bated breath. I was glad like Fede was attached because I did like Don't Breathe or
I mean,
Oh, no breathe.
when
Nice
that
number.
trailer, that initial trailer came out, we were all like, "This looks amazing." They're using
That's true.
physical effects. Looks actually terrifying.
I'm not sure.
Well, I was gonna ask really quick before we
Yeah.
got into how we saw the movie, but did you said you saw Alien before
Mhm.
going into this one? Did you watch Aliens as well? Or
No, so I've been like spoon feeding movies to my turn in like
Uh-huh.
specific ways because like I don't know I like to experiment like that. Like we're
I think
doing
you-
it totally weird.
You should
order
get
for
your
flowers.
those posters, just like movie
The
posters
movie
that you scratch
posters?
off and
Yeah,
watch.
yeah.
Oh, that would be
Good
great.
idea.
Yeah, she would love the horror one. But no. So what I'm having her do is watch it completely chronologically. So we're going Alien. This is the interquel. So I'm like, we'll see this, and then she's really pumped to see Aliens. So we're gonna see that next.
Oh,
Did you guys watch any of these movies before going into
I
Romulus?
binged all of them the last 2 weeks.
all of them?
Me and my cousin have been
3 and 4.
really
Okay.
excited for Romulus. Yeah,
Okay.
Oh wow.
and then AVP is where we stopped.
Okay. Did you?
Wait, did your cousin like Romulus?
He likes Alien. He
Alien
likes
type?
Alien. So we both really liked it.
Anakin, did you watch any of the other ones? Like again?
Prior to this, no. Prior
Okay.
to the movie, I did not watch any Alien movies.
Dominic?
no, I didn't rewatch any. It was
Okay.
just my initial viewings in the past.
I rewatched with Emily. We watched the first film. We went the theatrical cut because I have the theatrical and the director's cut. We watched the theatrical one, and then we watched Aliens, the director's cut, not the theatrical cut, where James Cameron adds in like an extra 45 minutes of footage.
Oh shit!
Changes
I've never-
the whole film.
Really?
Really?
Yeah, it's like for the better. Because like in the theatrical version of Alien versus the director's cut, Ridley Scott takes out like 5 minutes of footage that he thought like doesn't do the movie service, and then he adds in that scene where like the whole crew is like cocooned up, but it's like in a weird spot where like the ship's about to explode and she's running around.
Yeah.
She has this like 4-minute conversation while the ship's gonna explode. So we ended up watching the theatrical because I don't care about that shit. And then I had never seen this director's cut of Aliens by James Cameron. And I was like, well, I'll check that out. Like, what 15, 30 minutes did they add? And they cut it down because, like, the studio told James Cameron, like, no one's going to watch a 2.5-hour movie. And so,
Crazy concept.
I know.
yeah.
Especially nowadays.
And so, like, they added in, like, the whole thing about the colony, like, how the colony got invaded and, like, who brought the facehugger in. Like, because in the original film, it's just like, oh, hey, like, there's a colony there? What? Yeah,
we're booming.
Yeah, that colony's been there 20 years and no incident. And then the next scene, she's in her apartment and they're like, hey, knock, knock. Some whack shit happened. We're sending a team. You want to go?
Yeah.
And it's like, wait, it just kind of jumps. That, like, 20 minutes is, like, it goes to the colony. It shows them, like, finding the ship. And then it shows them, like, getting the facehugger. It shows a little bit of life on the ship and stuff. And it's like, wow, I think that context was definitely needed. And there's more like little things that they add as
It's
well.
also that scene on the colony that shows the colonists. The people that actually get infested is Newt's parents.
Yeah.
So it's like
Wow.
it ties in like in so many different ways, but they just completely cut it from the theatrical cut.
Yeah.
That is insane. I didn't know there was a theatrical cut. So it's kind of like it's 20 minutes at the beginning. It's kind of like Avatar's theatrical cut.
Yeah, pretty much.
Okay.
It's like, they get her, they do a little bit of introduction on her about like how she had a daughter and stuff like that and all this other junk, and then that's when they cut away, like after they say like, yeah, there's a colony there. It's been there 20 years. Like we've never heard anything. That's when they cut over and that's when they show that footage, and then they cut back like, hey, we lost contact. But you find out later in the film that like the dude who's part of the program, like after they saved Ripley and heard her story, she sent those guys out to that ship, and like that's why, like, you know, in the film, like, he's trying to get stuff back because, like, he's the one who, like, essentially killed that colony. So he knew it was a doomed mission anyways. And I think that context is, I mean, the whole thing was much better.
That's crazy.
3, I only got an hour in before we shut it off, and then 4, we only got 10 minutes in before we shut it off. And then
Those are bad.
they are way worse than I remember. I used to watch them a lot when I was a kid, but I had never watched them since I was like 6, so I didn't know they were that bad. And you know, I was watching them with Em, and she was like, "Can we just like skip to the end? Like, what happens?" And I was like, "Yeah."
It like falls to the floor, and it's like an artsy her just getting sucked up in this giant like
Yeah,
goop.
yeah. I was like, I thought you'd never ask.
I never noticed the poster for Alien Cubed. 3 times the suspense, 3 times the danger, 3 times the terror.
Yeah, because it came out what in like 92 or 90,
92.
Yeah.
May 22nd, 1992.
and then 4 was like what? It had to be like 96 or something.
You are very close. 97.
Yeah,
Dominic wants to speak.
definitely feels that.
Shut up.
Oh, to say the best shot was when she makes the basketball throw.
Yeah.
And she actually did it in her life on the first try.
Oh really?
Yeah, there
Yeah.
was
Oh, no. Go ahead.
Winona Ryder's in it, yes,
I didn't know that.
and
set. I
Ron
didn't-
Perlman.
Yeah.
What?
Yeah, he's
Yep.
in it too.
Maybe I should go back and watch this.
No.
No,
No.
you.
Didn't Joss Whedon write
like,
this
hey,
one
Yes.
as well?
Hot
Joss Whedon, and David Lynch did 3. I think
Yeah,
it was
that's right.
David Lynch. Yeah,
No,
Or-
David
No, it
Fincher.
was
David
Fincher.
Fincher. David Fincher. That's right. Sorry, wrong one. Wrong David.
Close enough.
Yeah, I don't think
Um,
David Lynch would ever touch an alien movie.
It was weird enough.
No, it definitely helped watching all of them going into this because it's like, oh, we recovered this fucking solid frozen fucking xenomorph. And I was like, wait. They're like, yeah, someone sent this out from a ship. I'm like, oh, so now I know where this is kind of taking place.
Yeah,
This
because
is how this connects to that.
it turns and says the Nostromo on the side of that wreckage, and I was like, oh, this is it's that. I thought it was
Yeah.
really cool.
So yeah, so definitely watching all of them beforehand. And then like the Wayland stuff, like the only reason it's cemented in my head is because of AVP. And I'm like, oh, Wayland. Oh,
Well,
that dude.
I think we're getting ahead. Do you think?
Well,
we're getting
yeah, I
ahead
think that's
here?
like a really good transfer point.
All right,
to-
Romulus
Okay.
going in. Talk
So
about
yeah,
it.
diving right into Romulus. What was like the consensus when you stepped out of the theater? Because like for me, I felt it was kind of mixed with my trio. Because like my trio enjoyed it, but she kind of felt like it fell flat compared to like the first Alien. I agreed, but like being a bit of an Alien fan, like I still like found my joy from it. Especially like just going right into it. I really like the kills. I thought this was like some of the most creative kills I've seen with Alien in a while. Especially like the acid scene. That's like still like cemented as one of my favorites from this movie. And then my homegirl Kate, she did not like it. She felt like it was just really derivative and kind of boring. And as far as like a horror movie goes, it just kind of felt bog standard. So she gave it like a 5, I think.
Yeah, well, we hate Kate.
Out of 7
She's
or
on my
out of
blacklist.
10?
Yeah, is it out of 7?
I'm sorry, Kate. I didn't try and turn my whole team against you. I swear. I think. What did you say, Jeff?
Out of 7 or 10? We gotta know.
Out of 10. She
Oh, okay.
she had to ask. She had to clarify because I've done the 7 skill with her too.
And they're
Um,
like,
God.
this is dumb.
It's great, Dominic. Shut up. But I was just curious, like, what you guys' thoughts were. Because who did you guys go see it with? You guys see it by yourselves or with friends or stuff like that? Like,
With Dominic and my cousin.
okay.
We saw it in the XD.
I was gonna see it in XD.
Oh,
I decided not to.
I
Saw it in
think.
IMAX.
So
Did you really?
Yeah.
Oh,
Christ.
shit.
Man, you just balling over there.
I just gotta point out the intro where it's
great.
quiet. It's like silent.
I love that.
I was like,
absolutely love that.
whoa, this is cool.
Yeah.
This is space.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It really hammered home that in space no one can hear you scream kind of vibe.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Space, no one can hear you cream.
Oh,
It-
they never
it
had me in
also-
space.
The business you do with your pasta bowl, Jeff, is your own. You don't have to share.
What?
Yeah, with the whole quiet like intro, man, I wish more movies did shit like that because
Like Star Wars.
Never.
Has Star Wars done that before?
No, every time they show space here.
That's true. Yeah, but it was just so like I felt so like sucked in, like just watching in complete silence, like the ship moving through like pitch blackness, and I was just like I was hanging on to every fucking like thing I was seeing because it was just so quiet, you know. It was awesome.
As soon as I saw those little details, I was like, oh yeah, Fede got this. I'm in.
Yeah,
Like,
it was really easy to get immersed because the opening scene was enough to be like you're already leaned in, and I just definitely remember like the build up already was it definitely felt promising from like those first couple of minutes. I don't know, Dom, you haven't said anything.
No, I
did we skip Dom on the whole last
no,
segment?
no, it's fine.
Did we really?
You didn't. No.
Oh,
Okay.
I'm trying to compose my thoughts.
I was really.
No, I thoroughly enjoyed it. I honestly was like creaming my pants the entire time with the sound like throughout the film. I thought like a lot of the sound design was really solid. And yeah, in the beginning when it was just dead silent, I was like kind of getting nervous. I'm just like, are they gonna do like a cheap jump scare at the beginning? But I was just able to appreciate the just void of silence in the film.
I was gonna say on the sound design, I think they really hit it with every aspect of it. The visual effects, the cinematography, the sound design, like everything was just on point throughout the whole fucking film.
Music, Jesus Christ.
And it was just amazing. I went and saw it with Emily, and she said she really enjoyed the film too. And I was kind of like, because the last 25 minutes. So we were talking about it, but she was like, yeah, thanks for like taking me to go see this. Like, I don't usually see these types of movies, but she like really enjoyed herself. So, but yeah, that opening scene too was like awesome because I was wondering, since it was set between Alien and Aliens, like how are they going to connect it, because it's pretty tightly knit how the aliens spread in Aliens as opposed to Alien, and there's no xenomorphs apparently anywhere else in space at this point other than on that ship. So I was wondering, like, are they just gonna shoehorn this in, and they're like, they go to that ship, or like what happens? Are they from that colony from Aliens? Like, what is going on? And I think they did that really well, of having like the fossilized alien in space and it being the original alien from the first film. The
one that got cargoed.
Yeah, and I that added some good lore to the xenomorph, and it was kind of cool, like seeing it dead up in the rafters later on in the film, and they're like, yeah, that was the one from the other ship that we got. I thought it was such a cool way to tie this story into those two films, and it was so creative to be able to do that sort of thing.
Yeah, but then like what I really enjoyed about this movie is that it still felt very condensed, because like you said, going into the start, I'm like, how are you going to tie this in without it being shoehorned? But then at the end, I'm like, how are you going to tie this in without it being shoehorned to point to aliens or anything like that? And I feel like he really mastered the ending well enough. I mean, outside of the 25 minutes, we're going to get to that, but I just feel like they didn't do anything to like, oh, by the way, this is Aliens. You should go see Aliens that came out ages ago. It just kind of felt like they made it its own story, and I really appreciated that.
But it also makes me think of all the other films where a bunch of aliens were sucked out into space, and there's like a shitload of fossilized aliens like floating around, like the Alien Queen.
Yeah.
But
I think at the end of 4 too, there was a bunch shot out into space, and then at the end of this film, there was a shitload shot out into space.
But they got disintegrated in the fucking asteroid belt. Hopefully.
Well,
yeah, hopefully.
They got making a sequel, maybe.
And also, though, Jeff, space is big, so this is like one solar system.
Yeah.
It would take them a while to like propagate the whole universe. So I'm just gonna give them the benefit.
I mean, but it kind of seems like they were looking for this. Like,
They were
they were like looking for the
They're looking
fucking
for
fossilized.
Oh, they were.
one, yeah.
Yeah.
Because that's how in the first film it was that the Weyland-Yutani company that sent them to this. They already kind of knew what it was, because the android guy already had that stuff preloaded into him. He already knew what the directive was and all this junk.
Yeah. How do you guys feel about him making a return, Rook?
I didn't like it.
I thought his name wasn't his name Ash.
His name was Ash in the original film.
Okay, that's right.
Why did they call him Rook?
I mean,
Different
it's-
ship, different
one
name.
was named Rook, but it was based off of Ash from the
Yeah,
first.
because it was a line of androids, an older line of androids.
I didn't.
Something.
That's the one thing I didn't like, that I just never could fully like accept and come to
I agree
terms
with
with.
that. Yeah.
Just visually, it just wasn't. I would have loved to see Michael Fassbender. Would have been cool. Would have been way
cool.
different. But otherwise, I much rather have like a different synth.
I agree.
Yeah, just like a synth Or some random, maybe, I don't know, if you want to go high budget, like Mads Mikkelsen, that'd be cool. I don't know.
Oh man.
Just not that.
I
Modest android from the first film.
I kind of rolled my eyes at it, but then I was like, well, you know, like those are the droids they're using in this timeline. Like, it makes sense. It's fine.
It looked bad though.
It didn't look great. It didn't look great. But I didn't have a huge issue with it.
I think going back on it now, I agree. Like, it makes sense in the timeline aspect. And I would say this was like the one sin that they could have committed for like the entirety of the movie to like fuck it up, and I'd be like willing to give it a pass enough to be like, all right, you guys got your little jerk off moment. That's cool. Just don't do that again. And they didn't, from what I could tell, for the rest of the movie. So like
that was like the only fan servicey thing. I was like,
yeah, I agree.
If executed better, then I guess, but it's just visually, it just didn't.
It did not sell well. I think the only time it looked good was like when it was on like the screen,
yeah.
Because it was digital and you didn't have to see it personally, kind of.
And it's so funny because like the whole movie is pretty much practical, and you're like, damn, that looks amazing. But then it's like that one CG.
Yeah.
It's like,
Bring back
that looks
the dead
like
actor.
ass.
But it's funny that you say that because
Is he dead?
Yeah, he died a while ago.
Oh, he did.
I
Actually,
I was actually gonna say, why didn't they just bring back the old actor? And then I googled it, and he died like 4 years ago.
Well, I wonder if they could have used. I mean, I get why they used him because, like, in the lore, he's like the bad alien guy. But
wait,
like,
is that Bilbo?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
Holy shit.
Ian Holmes.
Oh,
But I wonder maybe if like they
Not
would have.
Bilbo Swaggins. Sorry.
Well, yeah, I, because there's like bad androids and then there's good android lines. Like the guy in Aliens, the android in Aliens, they talked about how they were like, that was a defective line. Like, I don't have any of that sort of thing. So like, it makes sense that they wouldn't have used him for this film.
He was the GOAT.
Yeah,
I'd
because he
argue any
was
of the
the good guy.
I'd argue
What was
any of
his
the
name?
androids that had to work for Wayland and that have that directive of like bring it back, like they're bad androids.
Yeah, but
Is it Skinner?
no, it was dude, I can't even remember.
we're on it.
Synthetic and Aliens?
Yeah, it wasn't Hicks because that was
The
the guy.
actor or
Bishop?
the character?
The Bishop. Yeah.
Bishop.
Yeah.
Bishop, yeah.
Yeah, like that line though, like I think in the future films too, like I think they brought him back and he was like still like a generally good android dude or something like that.
I mean, you can have them play both good and bad because Michael Fassbender's was both
Good and bad.
good and bad, but I feel like you could have just had a different android for this film.
Yeah, I don't know.
Since we're on the topic of creative decisions and some places where Romulus went wrong, I want to talk about the horror element. I did not find this movie that scary. Like, full stop. It just wasn't horrifying in any kind of capacity. Like, I felt like the thing that made Alien work, and I'm blanking on two. I haven't seen it early enough to remember it. Aliens. I'm just saying I haven't seen it long enough to like remember the horror aspect to it. But like just remembering like Alien and even like Isolation, for me, I feel like the first movie really encapsulates like what the kind of whole vibe of what Alien should be, which is like claustrophobic, kind of a sinking descent into terror. And this kind of felt a little too actiony for my taste to really take it seriously. Like, it felt very evident who was going to survive, and I don't think that landed really well for me. So, I don't know. I just wanted to get you guys' take, because, like, to me, it didn't feel like a horror film. It felt like a sci-fi movie that had xenomorphs, and it was supposed to be scary.
Well,
like, they had jump scares and shit, but sorry, go ahead.
I'm gonna say that the first film is a horror sci-fi. And then when James Cameron got it for Aliens, it is an action film.
Yeah, but that's...
100%.
But
And
it owns that.
everything beyond that is just shitty sci-fi film. It doesn't reach the pinnacle of action badassery that Aliens did or the horror that Alien did. So I feel like this film in particular had a decent mix of both of those vibes, where there were still scary elements in terms of ambiance and the uncomfortableness of it. But yeah, you're right. It wasn't like jump scares. It wasn't like, oh my god, the crazy. It was just slow and the presence of when is this thing gonna pop out and get us. you know, because it's in the vents, it's over here, it's over there. And that was the whole vibe of Alien, was it's in the vents, we don't know where it is. At any point it could just be there. And a lot of the times, like, I think it was mostly because it was a guy in a suit, but most of the times when you see the xenomorph, it's just a quick psh, 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 you know, like the guy turns and there it is, and it's like you don't see much of it.
I was gonna say, it's like it does horror well because it's like Jaws, where it's like you don't really see it at all throughout the film. Like it's just like a quick thing, and you're like, what are they being attacked by? And then it's not towards like the end where it's just like, oh, I get it.
Yeah, that's for me. That is the horror element, like not fucking knowing where that fucking thing is. Cause like when it comes to shit I get scared of, it's like things either I don't comprehend or things like that I know are horrifying, but I can't see it. Like it's out of my sight. It's kind of like, you know, fucking spiders. If I don't kill the spider and I just let it like go in my room, I'm gonna be fucking thinking like, holy fuck, is it on my fucking leg right now? Is it like on my chair? Is it in my bed? You know, shit like that.
And you've played Alien Isolation, so you know that it's Yule.
Yeah.
If you're walking around in those tubes and you're like shit, and then you hear it in the vents and you're like fuck. That's the whole horror of this franchise is that shit's somewhere. Like, it's in the walls.
Yeah, there,
the
like specifically too, like that scene where the facehuggers got into the vents. I was like, holy fuck, like they're fucked, because like once they're in the vents, they can be anywhere.
Yeah.
And so, like after that scene, I was just like, I was tense the whole movie because I was like, man, a fucking facehugger can just come flying out any moment, you know.
Yeah, like this one, like the alien itself, I think it wasn't more of like, where is it? I think anytime Alien was there, it's like, it was more of like its presence was there. It's like, oh fuck, they're fucked. Like to me, that's how he used the alien, the xenomorph more versus like, where is it? It's like, no, it's right here, and I'm gonna let you know you're fucked.
Yeah.
Like when he's like shocking it, it's like, you know it's there, right? But then like it doesn't work, and that fool just starts emerging. You're like, oh shit, you know, like I think the horror part of it for me personally, because I'm scared of space. I think Fede like really made the elements of space more like hit it home more than the other movies where it's like, oh okay, just launch them out, whatever. But like this one was like the fact that we have to get fuel because if we're not gonna make the journey, we're gonna fucking die, you know, like if we want to make the journey. And I'm like, oh yeah, life expectancy, you're literally floating in a thing, the light shutting off and this thing is just floating in the darkness. I'm like, oh my god, space. It's like them being sent out, of the use of gravity, the use of like just the realistic parts of like space, more realistic parts of like being in space. I feel like really helped me feel uncomfortable with this versus the xenomorph, right? Like I know you're fucked, I know the facehuggers and xenomorphs right here, but like there's also that aspect of space which like the other movies didn't really make me feel that at all. Yeah, as far as the xenomorph goes, like I don't think it was used in the sense of like the first one was, but the first one was like, I'm the boogeyman, you know?
Yeah.
Like this one, like the scene where like they're about to open the door and then he just points and you just literally see it in the back. I'm like,
yeah.
Oh, you know, like, oh shit. Or when she's like, when Dora fell out and she's like crawling and she keeps looking up and it keeps panning to the door.
Oh,
like, you know it's there, you know? It's just at any moment. Like, I don't think at any point you didn't know where it was. Versus like the first one was
fair.
opposite, right?
Yeah, that's true.
Whether that was intentional or not, I just feel like that's why I didn't really, as far as the xenomorph goes, I don't feel like it was like.
But I think that was a cool thing too. Like for the most of the film, you were only focused on one, and then once they get to the hive, it's like, oh no, there were like a dozen of these that we didn't know where they were at, so we don't know which one exactly is like been following them or what, if it was multiple.
That's my question though.
Like
that's my question though. I asked Dominic this, because like when she's going like Overwatch, like Soldier 76, you know, like on the
aimbot,
on the aimbot, you know, like there's a lot of them, and I'm like, there wasn't that many crew members that got infected for like them to be chest bursts, so that means these were there chilling, like hibernating. So
it was the original
right
crew.
It was the original crew. So then my thing is just like, they would have been fucked regardless. They would have found them regardless, you know, exploring this. Like the facehuggers didn't even have to get out. Like there was this whole fucking hive of Xenos.
Yeah,
just waiting for them.
Yeah.
I think that's kind of like a direct, thinking about it now, I think it's a direct reference to Alien Isolation, because that's kind of the exact same thing that happens.
That's true.
There's like only one xenomorph until you hit like that certain point, and then oh shit, there's like fucking actually a whole hive of them. And apparently Fede, he's a big fan of Alien Isolation too, so he took a lot of he had a bunch of Easter eggs.
Did you guys see the save points in the film?
No, I didn't see them.
The phone booths where you put the card in and you save.
Yeah, you swipe the card in.
There was one when that scene where he's about to open the door and the xenomorph's there and they're like, "Oh, no, okay, well let's go this way. Here's a gun." When he like turns to look into that room, there was one of the save areas next to where they have the guns.
That's cool. I think now that you say that distinctly, I think I can recall that. That's fucking cool. There was the generator too.
The generator?
Yeah, because he uses the generator from the game to shock the alien.
Oh, is that what that was?
Yeah.
What were we gonna say, Jeff? Though before all that,
I was gonna say on your talking about space and like the zero gravity and stuff. That first scene where they float into the ship and the camera starts rolling and stuff. Did anybody like get lightheaded or like dizzy or nauseous like watching that? And you're just like, well, I feel like I'm floating. Yeah, like it was really good cinematography throughout the whole film.
I will say that was the one scene you're talking about, the crash, right, where it goes back into the ship.
No, when they first enter the ship, it was just the two guys in the android.
Yeah, when they're going out. Yeah.
Yes, because like to me, I was thinking, I'm like, man, I feel like I'm playing Elite Dangerous on like a giant screen, because you do get that same feeling when you're like pitching the ship, and I like when I'm playing that game, I just kind of like still tilting my head, like, oh, let me just like write myself up. So yeah, I agree. The cinematography.
Are you just talking about the acid scene?
No. When they're first going towards the
pods in the very beginning.
Because she says I'm gonna match their role, and then she starts to like maneuver the ship.
When they're going actually to the ship, yeah. That threw me off. Okay. I was like, can they not do this? They're like, no.
For me though, I think like the most terrifying part of the movie, I was talking to my friends about this, is like I hate like mechanical failures or like anything engineering related when like catastrophic shit happens. So that ship like bouncing and pinballing against I was like clenched up and like I made verbal sounds during that scene because I'm like, oh fuck. That was another moment where it was like silent, but you just see the ship just boom boom. It was just like
crashing into the board or whatever.
Yeah, that part. I was just like, oh my god, they blow it up and like the emergency doors have to shut. And that whole scene just had me like wanting to throw up because I was like, fuck, man. I expected everything to just explode on impact.
Well, I think it's because like by that point I had already like come to terms with like the danger of space. Mm-hmm. So I'm like, oh my god, any hole, anything, whatever, like
right, exactly.
It feels like anything else, like Star Wars or whatever. I've been like, okay, it's not blowing up, they're fine, like they're gonna live. But like in this one, I was just like, oh no, any little dent, they're gonna be the fucking submarine, the Titanic submarine.
Yeah.
In a millisecond, it's dead.
Yeah. It's the little details. I like stuff like that, where it's like, hey, by the way, we're in space. There's rules.
Was there anything you guys did? Oh, sorry, go ahead, Dom.
No, I was gonna say to add on like that last little tidbit, like the known countdown of like, yeah, this thing's going to crash into the belt in like this amount of hours, and then when the fuel canister, it's like, oh, actually now it's less than an hour. Like, just that constant reminder of like, this is gonna crash into a giant belt of.
You have 45 minutes.
Yeah, like you need to run through this giant ship and find what you're looking for and leave.
Yeah, and that definitely had like that kind of isolation kind of vibe to it too, where it's very much a time crunch. I think I like that about the first one a lot, was like the stress of like all the shit that our main character is dealing with at once, and then on top of the xenomorph as well.
And wrangling a cat at the same time.
And wrangling a cat. That's the part where it got Hollywood, because there ain't no fucking way you got that cat.
Yeah. You wouldn't go back for your cat?
I would go back for Ryan, but his dumb ass would run away, so I...
Realistically, that cat would die.
Fuck it, you stay here then.
Yeah, so you must obviously like it here.
Did you guys catch that? I love the practical use. It looked great, everything, like the face huggers, but did you guys catch the fucking remote control, the one that just fucking scooted?
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
I was like, I did. I was like, I love that, whatever. Like, I love these little practical mishaps. It was just like this, and it was like, just fucking like you could tell it was a fucking remote controlled RC car.
Yeah, there was one that was like this, and the legs were moving in a weird way, but it was still moving forward.
Yeah.
And they used those same things like when they did the premiere. They went to a couple of theaters throughout the U.S. and they just had those remote control RC car facehuggers just driving around the lobby, and people were like, "Whoa, I almost stepped on it!" Like,
Yeah.
you know,
Yeah, it's cool.
It was cool.
Imagine releasing that in the middle of the theater.
Oh hell
In the
no.
middle of the movie. That was a goddamn panic. Okay, so we've been glazing this film.
Well, can we take some segment to fucking glaze Andy?
Yes.
Yes.
Because, like, I was kind of pissed about him because I'm like, okay, so I don't know if I should.
Well, because he's retarded.
I know where you're going with this. Do it.
Do it.
A couple things.
I had the same thought.
Thank you. Because, like, okay, first off, I had no issues with him being special needs as far as, like, a synth goes. Like, I thought that was really cool, and I thought that we really humanized him, too, as far as, like, synths go. I felt like he was the most one that felt like you cared about him. I don't remember Bishop, so I'm just going to go with Andy. But I was sitting there, and I'm like, okay, so you guys had to cast the black dude for this part? Oh, my objective is to reign. Oh, I serve the white girl. Oh, your father enslaved me to you to make sure that you survive. It's my prime directive. And I'm like, it had
like,
no
wow,
black
they made the
sense
one black
until now.
synthetic, the dumb one.
But I'm not going to put my projections out there because I think Andy just earned this role. He switched like that. He went right into android mode in the moment they gave him his 2.0 upgrade. And I loved him from that point on. Like, even when he reverts back to, like, normal Andy, I was like, damn, this guy is acting his fucking ass off.
Oh,
I want to
sure.
see him in way more shit, because the facial expressions, the voice work, like, he was just on point. He is the star of this movie, like, full
for
stop.
sure.
I absolutely
100%.
loved him.
100%.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I did have to get that out there, because I'm like, y'all... this is
No,
not
I
love right
immediately
now.
when he showed up, I'm like, no way.
Yeah.
Hey, at least it wasn't the first Asian character in the Alien movie that gets a fucking chest burster blown through her chest. All right,
That's true.
the one and only Asian character, and she gets the worst fate.
I like how they kept the white man, Asian girl stereotype as well.
Dominic, what were you going to say?
I mean, I was just gonna commend Andy, but we can just.
I,
Or the actor playing Andy.
Oh.
The one Latina chick in there is the only one that's knocked up and doesn't have her baby daddy. You know what? You know what? Fuck Fede.
You're right.
27. You got beef.
You know what? You want to make a good movie? Just put stereotypes in it. It's fun. Yeah, I was wondering about Andy at the beginning of the film. Because, you know, I'd seen him in the trailers and stuff, and I knew he was an android. But then, like, when he showed up, I was like, oh, he's autistic, kind of, I guess. Like, that's a little weird to make
He was just a few
the
updates.
android, you know? And then when they put the chip in him, I was like, great for, like, autistic representation. And then they put the chip in them, and then all of a sudden he's like, oh, yes, very proper. And I was like, ooh.
Or when he just full on sprinted and then grabbed that door and was just like,
I was like, I wonder how they're gonna feel about the autistic representation now that's like, oh, you're not as upgraded as the rest of humanity, and you know, I'm just like, But
Look at this actor's recognition. What was his name?
His name is David Johnson.
David Johnson. That dude acted his ass off.
yeah, because by the end of the film, I loved that dude. Yeah, I was so happy when he came back.
When he fucking switched on, like, I was like, I just felt like an immediate sense of relief, because he was just so confident. I was like, every time he's on screen, I'm like, okay, I know the characters, they're in good hands, because he knows what the fuck he's doing. Like, he's logical, and he's just fucking surgical, you know. And that's how, like, that's someone I would want to be around in a fucking situation like this, you know, because it's a shit ass situation. I need someone thinking straight.
Yeah. What if you sprain your ankle and he's just like, Anakin,
fucking kill me. Yeah, leave me. I don't give a fuck.
I've calculated the odds of you living. It's 0. Goodbye. What were you gonna say, Dom?
Can you just kill me before you leave?
No, it was gonna go back to the Rook's synth, because you talked about how they have actors reprise as like different models. I totally thought that the synth that Rain like picks up, I thought it was going to be another Andy. And so I was really disappointed because you don't see their face and like the flesh is melted off, and I was like, that'd be really cool if it was like another Andy like model. And then I was disappointed with Rose.
Well, I mean, like canonically speaking, I think it doesn't make sense because he's a synth. Like they said specifically, like for coal and mining, like stuff.
Yeah,
so I don't
he
know
was
if,
an
like,
outdated model too.
Yeah, so I think
they could have had a newer one. I don't know. It was just
That's
my wishful
true.
thinking. That's why I was like really disappointed. But
Yeah. He was the shining star of this movie because I think if it weren't for him, and this is why like I keep kind of poking back at like how do people feel about it in a negative way. I just feel like the rest of the cast was really weak, very cliche, bog standard boring. Like even the main character I told you guys during in our group chat, I just felt like she was just there and shit was happening around her, and the grace of plot got her to the credits. Like I didn't feel like she was a badass in a bad situation, like making the most of it until the very, very end. Like the storage scene where she blows out Mr. 25 Minutes. That was the only part where I was like, okay, you know, she's got some street cred with me now. I just kind of felt like the whole movie was centered around the rest of the crew.
Zero-graph scene. What do you mean?
Yeah, that was cool.
Even that was kind of cheesy to me. Like those were those moments where it was just kind of like, okay, like I get it. We're in zero gravity. I liked her intuition to be like, oh shit, just make them float and we can float through the blood. But I just kind of felt like, I'm like, this feels like it should be, what's his name? Quick time event. It feels like a quick time event. Yeah, it feels like a quick time event thing where it's like, we're floating so slowly, mash square now so you can start shooting the bullets to fall down. It just felt really cheesy at that point. So like, I just did not care for main chick. I forget her name. Let me get the cast up.
Rain Carradine,
played by.
I mean, I haven't seen Alien in forever, but I like, isn't that kind of how Ripley? Not saying that she was like boring or anything, but isn't it just kind of like she was just kind of there until the end, and she stepped up to be like the final girl?
Yeah,
I feel
and
like
then it cemented her as a badass.
I feel like it did, but I also felt like Ripley had a bit more teeth, and she definitely was like beefing with Ash and some other folks on the ship a little bit too. Like I felt like she was a bit more of a voice in the beginning, where she's like just shit's happening, and then she becomes a badass in the final girl in the movie.
Would you feel differently if they weren't like, hey, we need your droid and not you? Like, if she was beefing more with them, like, do you think you'd have liked her more? Versus where it's like, you can come if you want, but we don't really need you. We just need your robot, and it'd be helpful because you could like calm your robot down and fix it. But like, other than that, like,
yeah, it really felt like even those scenes, she just kind of felt like an afterthought. And so I agree. I feel like if she had been more like, yeah, I'll go, but or like, yeah, you can use fucking Andy, but I'm gonna be there. Right, exactly. I'm like every step of the way, because like the first scene, she's like, yeah, I guess like, you know, just go and come back really fast since it's gonna be quick. And it just kind of felt like she was so passive to the point to where I just did not give a shit about her.
I felt for her in the beginning because I was like, this girl just wants to retire.
Yeah.
Or a girl, like whatever. And then they really cemented that she's like, that's her brother, like yada yada. What I didn't really, I thought it was just shoehorned a little bit, is when they make like the big reveal like that he's gonna get fucking destroyed as soon as they get to the new planet. And like her reaction to it was very like, yeah, I didn't tell him. And I'm like, well, what the fuck? You established this like
relationship,
like unbreakable bond type shit, but like she was cool with it. And she's like, yeah. I'm like, what?
I would have liked a scene where they told her that.
Yeah.
Because like that came out of nowhere, and I was like, oh wait, she knew about it? Like, if
that was a little jarring.
Yeah, that seemed like, okay, maybe that was a deleted scene or something. But if that wasn't a scene, it would have been better if like she didn't know about it, and now she's pissed at them for bringing them on this journey to get this stuff, and now she has to make this tough decision, you know, that they didn't tell her about.
Yeah, I agree.
It was like, how long did she know? Like, did she know from the beginning? Like, if they were trying to get there since the beginning, did she already know it's going to happen? Like, that scene would have added a lot of context.
Yeah. I'm going to make the hot take and say that Ripley wasn't a badass, essentially, until the second one.
Oh, Alien.
Wow, shit.
Because, like I said, she was just kind of like someone who was going through it. She was just trying to survive. And in the second one, she was like, get the fuck away from my kid. She was in mama bear mode, and then that was just like, okay, she's just gonna take down this whole fucking planet and everybody with her. So
well, that's the one where they cemented her, because they were like basically with the forklift shit. She's like,
Yeah.
I can do this shit. And they're like, oh, okay. And then she's
Yeah.
like, teach me how to use this gun. Teach me how to do. Like, I know this. Like, oh, okay.
Yeah, so they tried to
Yeah.
give Rain her moment at the end where she's, you know, she goes back down the elevator to get Andy and whatnot, you know, and they have that scene that references back to Aliens when she steps off the elevator, you know, with the gun.
Yeah.
And I feel like, you know, if they do a sequel, like, I think that's when they're going to do more of that, I guess.
The aimbot really helped, because if she was doing all that with no aimbot, then I would have been like,
Then she would have been a Mary Sue.
oh, absolutely, yeah. Like, but like before that, or like when they were about to blow up, before the zero gravity thing or whatever, like I like that she like gave up. I was like, okay, she's not this like rough and tough. I'm like, oh no, don't worry. Like she was just like, all right, we're gonna fucking die.
Well, screw it.
And then she had a brain blast, so it's like, okay, you know,
Here's
she wants to live, you know.
Yeah, that's fair. That's fair.
Which, you know, that Yul didn't like that scene, but I thought that was cool. I thought it was very like.
I would
The
have
rest
died.
of us liked it.
I probably would have
by the
died.
acid.
My fat ass would have definitely been hit by the acid.
I would have been like that.
No, I would have given up, and then I would have also just shot them and like let the acid bleed through the floor because I wouldn't have thought about the gravity. So I would have died from the decompression.
Yeah. Yeah.
I would rather die of decompression than fucking aliens, okay?
Or I would have thought I could like hold on to,
no.
to like a fucking rail as hard as I could. I could totally beat space.
Yeah.
You're gonna hold on
No
forever.
different.
That's really good.
The moment oxygen runs out.
Yeah.
But yeah,
All
and
right, let's get to it.
all right. I don't feel like I said all my points, but I think it'll
Go for it.
No, we'll cover it because this is it. This is the gauntlet. So it's 3v2. The last 25 minutes. I loved it. I felt like it was kind of the whole point of the movie. It definitely felt like a physical metaphor for like playing God, and it was perfect because it's kind of like, yeah, you can become the perfect organism, but like at the cost of humanity and whatever the fuck this thing. Not crazy about the design, but not like hating it at the same time either. It was. I think it was very fitting for the movie. Like I thoroughly enjoyed it.
That was the one horror I felt like
That's
everyone
true.
in the theater, like Dominic can attest to this, when it finally shows it and it's just like this, like everyone in the theater was like, oh, like, everyone said that, like that was so creepy. It was weird looking.
I was
It's like what is
wondering-
it?
I was wondering how it was gonna look. I'm like, is it gonna be like more alien? Is it gonna be like a weird human? And then you just see that like in its pose, and you're just like, oh, like it's somehow worse than I imagined, but like it's like not like it's not as like
it's
complex
bad.
as I was like thinking. I was like, it's gonna look like this, and it's just like, oh, ew.
Everyone in the theater, you hear it like a oh.
Yeah.
I think that in the pregnancy scene too. Everybody
Oh,
was
yeah.
like rolling.
I was like, what the hell?
Yeah, I do agree. Everyone was like that in my theater as well. Even Emily was like, she was like, this the
It
whole
was
time,
so jarring.
and
bro.
I was just like, okay, I'm
Yeah, I had that reaction too, but it was like, ugh, this just killed the movie for me a little.
yeah. So I'm gonna say, I
Prometheus.
went into this film thinking that there was gonna be zero reference to Prometheus, Covenant, nothing like that. Because I read it in multiple articles, and then when we got to that science room, and he's talking about Project Prometheus, and then he turns, and the hologram of the God tube that they pour the juice on the world, and then it creates life from Prometheus, and I was like, God fucking damn it! You couldn't keep your fucking fingers off of it, Scott. Like, God fucking damn it! And so, like, when they pan
That's
to
why I
the,
liked it so much.
and then when they pan to the rat, and then it shows that it's all diseased and stuff, I'm like, all right, I know one of these chuckle fucks is gonna inject themselves with this stuff later on. And then when it finally she did it, I was like, well, let's see
This
what
is
it
why she
looks
got
like.
pregnant.
Yeah, it's like, let's see what this thing looks like. And then when they finally showed it, I just, like, to me, the biggest issue was the design of it. It looked like it didn't, I mean, yeah, it looked human. They had the xenomorph features on some of it, and it kept growing the more stuff it consumed. I don't know if it was just evolving because of that, but it looked like it was eating the Latina chick or
evolved.
something.
It was growing on its own already.
Okay,
I
yeah,
thought
because it
I thought it
was.
was mainly evolving because it consumed her blood, which was
Yeah.
infused with the goo.
I thought
That's why
that's
it kept evolving.
That's what I thought too. I wasn't quite sure, but I just thought it looked a little too much like the engineers from Prometheus. I thought like it just looked a little too human to me, and it brought me back to the the other alien designs of like from Alien Resurrection, that thing at the end that was just like, oh. And then, like Prometheus and Covenant, those weird things, just like, oh, like, okay. If they had made it look maybe a little more xenomorphy, probably would have felt better about it. I don't know, but I think it's just the design for me that just set me, like, put a weird taste in my mouth. I just didn't really care for the design of that creature. Maybe if it was like, I was gonna say, maybe if it was black, I would have. Like a xenomorph, make it look a little more like a xenomorph.
This is an impression.
Canceled.
Canceled.
He's
Black.
canceled.
Oh, I had a question. So when
Maybe it was more black, I could hate it more.
when the xenomorph was like in her face,
250 pounds.
Yeah.
Athletic build. Sorry,
Yeah.
go ahead.
when it was like in her face on the elevator and they're hanging, why did it have like fucking lightning in its fucking forehead?
Oh, I don't know.
That was from the guy stabbing it. Remember in the womb?
Yeah, but the prong stayed there.
It wasn't.
Because like this was after where she was like hanging from it and it was like looking at her and it was cracked. There was like electricity in its brain.
I noticed
That's a
that.
good point. I don't know.
I noticed
like,
that. I
what's
kept
going on
noticing
here?
that in the film, and I was like, "What is this? Just some like weird kind of effects, or what? Is that what that was?" Okay, so then that was the original Alien. Then see, because for all the promotional material, they used that alien with the crack in its head, and like I bought an action figure of it, and I was thinking like that's going to be the main alien through the film, and I only saw the crack in its head for like half of a second or something.
Yeah,
like
so
that
did it
alien
like
was only there.
absorb that? And,
Yeah, it's on the
Yeah.
posters and stuff.
I don't think I noticed
So
that. Huh?
yeah, 'cause when it
that
was like growling at her, there was like lightning going on in its fucking
that
brain.
makes sense. Maybe it was like from the electric
I didn't-
prongs.
I didn't think
Ah.
it was lightning. I just figured because the heads are usually translucent. Is that the
Yeah, that,
Yeah.
yeah.
I was
you're right.
I figured it was just light shining through the top because usually that
Well,
top
that's
part's like
that's what I
see-through.
thought, but now I kind
Nah,
of
it
want to
looked
go
like
back
lightning.
and see if any of the other xenomorphs had that, because that would be
No, it was just that one.
an interesting. That's an interesting thing. That's a cool touch.
They
That
can
having the
absorb.
lightning rod just like stuck in its head or something. That's kind of cool.
Lightning morph.
It's
Like,
just constantly getting shocked.
Yeah.
It's just perpetually pissed off.
Constantly retarded.
Sorry to derail it. I just had that question.
Okay.
No, that's fair.
But
Um,
I was fine with the ending. I feel like I'm fine with the ending now. It's just like personally, I think they should have maybe gone back to the drawing board just a little bit on the creature
No,
design.
so the thing is, like, I don't have a problem with how the movie ended. Like, oh, that's fine. There's a thing, but the fucking design was just, for me, not it. It didn't look cool. It was just disgusting and disturbing and hard to watch, and it had all of the elements of Prometheus that I did not like. And it's just like, man, why'd you have to go after the pregnant lady, dude? Like, it's just fucked up. And it's kind of a fucking retread of Alien 1, dude. Like, the ending of Alien 1.
I agree with that.
Like, oh, we escaped this big ship, and there's all the facehuggers and xenomorphs are on the big ship that's getting destroyed. We're all good now. And then, oh, just kidding. There's actually another one on my escape pod. I was like, come on, man. Like, this is every Alien ending.
Well, I was gonna say this
Fucking-
felt like this is like the Force Awakens,
Yeah.
where
they had-
it's. Well, I want to say like this was like if Force Awakens did it better, but like the way they did it, where it's like we're gonna do the same thing because like the formula worked, but with like a new twist on it, like our new spin on it. Because I know after Force Awakens, everyone's like that was just the same.
I saw a lot
was
of people
New
were
Hope.
calling this Force Awakens.
Yeah,
of-
this was like
of the
Force
Alien
Awakens,
franchise.
but like more Kino, compared to what Force Awakens was. Because that one, the more you think about it, I'm like, oh, you know what, they played it safe. So I feel like this one was kind of playing it safe as well in like that way. I mean, that creature at the end is not playing it safe. That's like,
Yeah, they went out on a limb.
I'm gonna go out.
I
but
think what they did was they saw these guys and they thought, well, that's kind of scary. You know, and they're like let's let's make that a xenomorph and call it a night.
It was weird when it went up to like the girl. I was like, oh my god, it's gonna be like mama.
Well, I think it did, and then she pushed it away, and it ended up killing her.
So, real. That's real.
I think that's why I liked it.
When
I think
your mom doesn't love you. You just kill her.
I think I would have liked
Jesus
it.
Christ.
I think I would have liked it less if it was a xenomorph. Like, I feel like it would have been more of just retreading Alien. And so I think I liked it more that it was like human xenomorph hybrid, also engineer. And I think like I like that tie back to Prometheus because I don't actively hate on it.
You're like, that's the perfect human build. Ah.
Yeah.
That's what it felt like.
That's what peak masculinity looks like. You might not like it, but
8 foot
Also,
tall, giant tail, black teeth.
yeah.
Hey,
also
put a
Green
felony
Goblin
rap
wearing-
on that. It's the perfect man for most women these days.
8'6".
Yeah,
6. Good
looks like it's got an IQ of 2.
Born 5 minutes ago.
Wrong as shit.
Ass backwards.
Ass
I also,
backwards.
I also liked that they
No opinions.
were trying to use that like
Fucking honky.
I was calling it like cryo flamethrower.
I did like that.
I like that she thought of it and tried to use it against it. I
Yeah.
don't know. I think it did tread Alien, but I think it did it in a better, more appreciative way than if it was like Star Wars, A New Hope, and Force Awakens.
Yeah,
Well,
'cause
I think what also made me eye roll about that is like, I'm just so sick of these fucking Hollywood scripts where it's like, you know, they're clearly running out of ideas in the sequels, so they're like, what if we just fucking merged the creature with the human? Like, that was legit one of the Jurassic World scripts at one point. It's like, what if we made fucking dino or raptor human hybrid soldiers?
On that,
Jeff knows about
yes,
that.
I actually read that script. It is floating around online. I read the full Jurassic Park 4 script, and they had concept art. You can look at the concept art of what there is. They were about to go into production, and then Steven Spielberg read the script, came in, shut that shit down. 10 years later, we get Jurassic World.
To be fair, Alien has done xenomorph human hybrids before.
Yes,
so
multiple
it's
times.
Not,
And it was like, it was the downfall of fucking Alien when they did that shit, alright?
Well, I like the
Literally-
competitive spirit of Fede. He's like, I'm gonna do it.
Wait,
He said, fuck everyone else that did it before, I'm gonna do it again.
so
I
they
mean,
were
they do be
going-
spicing alien DNA with a lot of stuff. Humans,
I
dogs.
mean, it makes sense. Like the
Predators.
perfect fucking creature. Why can't we be perfect?
Have you looked at us? We're retarded. What do you mean?
Like I was like, damn. Like why don't they just inject themselves right now? And then later on in the movie, like 5 minutes later, it's like, oh, the rat got
guys.
fucked.
Yeah.
And I'm like, oh, of course it's not that simple. If not, I would have been like, like all of them.
Damn.
If that was us, I would have fucking broke that shit open and injected
damn
myself
it.
right away.
Fucking Jimmy Neutron brain right away. Got a blast.
You're like, where is he? And you turn around, it's just me, like all stretched out.
Got a bust.
Your like arms have like kind of shrunk up, and your just head is floating around like
Yeah.
a big balloon.
You know,
It's just
I
my story.
You
I
say
actually
words
would
like
have been, I would have been more okay with the transformation if it instead had been Isabella Merced that transformed, because she's the one that took it. But I think it's just fucked up that a baby turned into that thing. Like
But see,
it didn't sit right with me.
It would have been cool if
you
it
know?
was her as that big thing, and then she had like a little pocket pouch, like a little thing.
Kangaroo?
Ooh,
Yeah, like a
And there's
kangaroo.
just a little xenomorph
And it
head
was
that
just
pops
so
out.
disgusting looking.
that would have been cool.
That would have been a cool design.
this is what I liked
a big,
about that.
a
scene.
giant bitch.
She like grows
That's
up.
what I liked about the scene so much because, like, oh, I'm sorry. Did I
Okay,
cut you
bruv. It's a Joey, bruv.
off? Shall we, bro?
I don't need to say what I needed to say.
Are you sure?
Yes,
Okay.
yes. No one wants to hear that.
But I was gonna say, like, for this, if we're still talking about the 25 minutes, that was what I liked about that scene. Like, that felt like horror. That felt like I want to be uncomfortable. That is like a scene that's just grotesque. It's gross. and it's perfect. I felt like that's exactly like what this movie needed more of.
And then when it came back to suck the life out of its mom, and you just see her
Yeah.
corpse there.
Exactly, like shit like that. It's like that's fucked up. That's some creepy ass shit.
Well,
I'm glad that's on the screen.
She was still alive though, because they put her back in a pod.
Oh, was she? I thought she died.
No, she's dead.
No, she's dead.
She was dead. No, I thought they put her back in a
They
pod.
put Andy in the pod.
Andy was in the
pod too.
Did
But
she
I thought
not
she
live?
she was dead.
No,
thought she
no
was-
one
She
died,
turned
bro.
into a raisin, dude. Are you kidding?
She's gone.
They just left her body there. Also, the Asian girl's body was there too, still in the cockpit.
Oh yeah, she didn't even get to deal with that yet.
Yeah.
Okay, so it's obviously a segue to wrap this up. So the two things I wanted to talk about was how it holds up overall to the Alien franchise to you guys, and then just general thoughts before you give your overall score for the 10. So like,
Take turns.
yeah, I think on this one we can take turns.
What is the second thing?
The second thing is the score, but the first one is how it holds up to the Alien franchise and your general.
And your
Final
hopes for the
thoughts.
future.
Yeah,
Oh,
hopes for the future.
yeah.
Yeah.
Go,
So
Jeff.
go final thoughts. We'll go around the table, then we'll all give our scores.
Okay.
Actually, no. Give your score at the end too. Sorry, because it's like a react. We give our thoughts and then we give the score. So
I think
Alright,
it's
go, Yule.
it's.
go, Jeff.
Go.
Go. Okay. Do you want me to go, Jeff? Or are you
I'll
good?
go. I mean, if
Go
y'all
for
want
it.
me
Get
to.
your rent when you fix this damn door.
He's a good kid. Go ahead, Jeff. Go ahead.
Baby punk.
I know how Dominic feels now.
You got this, Jeff. Go on.
You want to go last, Jeff?
All right, Dominic, go for it.
I'd rather have my dick out in a Kyle Acosta movie.
What the?
Anakin, go. Anakin,
I'm
go.
gonna. Okay. I think
Okay, go, Jeff. Go,
I'm
Jeff.
gonna go. I'm gonna go now. I'm gonna go now. I'm gonna go now.
Bust.
Fuck. So I'm gonna say that this is third best in the franchise. First is Aliens, second is Alien, third is Romulus, fourth is AVP, and then fifth is we're just gonna forget about the rest. I would give this a score of 8.8. I know when I gave a score last time it was an 8.1 or something like that when we were talking on the Snapchat. I've come to terms with the film. I really enjoy it. Like I said, it's just that design flaw of the final creature that, like, I can get past all the Prometheus references and stuff like that, the connection to the shit films before. It's just that one design flaw for me. Where I hope it goes in the future, you know, they really set it up for a sequel. I don't
Kind of, but not really.
I
It can be
mean,
left open ended.
yeah, but are they really going to leave it open-ended?
No, there's a lot of money.
Exactly.
made.
So they set it up for a sequel. I don't know how I feel about it. I would enjoy a sequel if it's still the same team, if they stick with xenomorph creatures, you know, and they don't deviate from, you know, our love of this creature, you know. I heard about the AVP film with Dan Trachtenberg and Fede Alvarez, how they would co-direct Predator and Alien.
Well,
And-
it's not a thing.
No, I know
think
it's not
he's
a thing, but you know
Yeah.
they're friends, so like, you know, even if it is a joke, like I'd be down to see something like that. I think that would be really cool. Because I'm looking forward to the next Prey film, the Predator film. There's a TV show coming out to Hulu for Alien sometime this year or next. I think it's next year.
Next year.
You are
Called
correct.
like Alien Earth or something like that.
Let me get there.
Oh, it's a TV show, yeah.
Alien Earth, yeah.
So I'm curious to see that. I just hope that whatever comes next, that it's good and that they learned from the other dozen films that aren't good. That's all I can really say because, you know, when you rate these
What if-
movies, that the bar is in hell to get over. So
Dude, I just thought of something. What if Alien Earth is a sequel to Aliens vs. Predator Requiem? Because that's also on Earth.
Whoever wins, we lose. I never forget that line.
I won before I lost.
I was gay until I was straight.
Who's next?
I could go next unless you want to go Anakin or somebody else.
I'll go.
Go for it. Rip it.
So I've always questioned if I was an Aliens fan. Like I knew I liked the movies for sure, but I didn't know if I could consider myself a fan and like, you know, meet other hardcore fans and be able to hold a conversation with them. But coming out of this movie, I was like, I am 100% an Aliens fan because this shit was so gangster. Like from the very beginning, all of the shots of the atmosphere and the sets and everything's just fucking so grungy and fucking cool looking. And I was like, man, even though they live in a shit ass world, I want to fucking be in that world and live in the shit ass with them. Everything looked fucking cool, man. I am a big Aliens fan after this movie. This is great. I'm gonna give this. No, actually, first before I score it, I agree with Jeff. I am gonna give it third place. So it's gonna be Aliens for me, Alien Romulus. Fourth will be Covenant still, and then AVP after that, and then the rest can neck themselves. My score will be a 10 out of 10.
Oh wow, shit! You went all in. Okay, 10 out of 10.
Yeah, it's a nearly perfect film for me, except
Wow.
for the fucker at the end. But
25.
it would have been a real still otherwise.
Oh shit! Would this look like your nomination for the year?
I
Yeah, your camera's
shit.
out.
Oh, there you go.
this
No,
is
you're
nice.
good. You're good.
Of course, it wouldn't have been his nomination. Dune 2.
That's why I was asking.
You
That's
guys
why
gotta
I
wait
asked.
for the end of the year for.
Yeah, you gotta wait for the end of the
You
year.
know it's gonna be Dune 2.
All right.
You gotta wait.
Tune in, folks, to hear
Tune
what
in.
my movie of the year is.
January
Someone,
something.
Jeff, you're muted.
someone clip this right now, and then when it's
Sorry.
the award show, and everyone's like, Dune 2.
I was gonna mute. Hold on. I said Dune tune in.
Oh.
I did the Jeff thing. I was muted. So
Or Dune Goonin.
Listen up, babe.
All right, that is a solid 10. Did you guys want to go before me, or I'm kind of neutral whenever you guys want. No, you good? You want me
I'll
to
go.
Go for it, Alex.
No, actually, Dominic should go because we kept interrupting him.
That's true. Do you have your thoughts together? Or you...
Yeah, pretty much. I mentioned it to Jeff that this is probably a top 3 Aliens film. When I think of Aliens, I think of horror, so Alien has always been number 1, and then Aliens at 2. I want to rewatch. I would probably want to watch both of them because I feel like it could be at the moment Alien, Romulus, and then Aliens. Because when I think of Aliens, I just think of more actiony. It's kind of like the Resident Evil franchise where it's like it turns like really actiony.
Mm-hmm.
I don't get that like actual fear like I do with Alien, but I'd kind of be curious to go back and rewatch it. But yeah, it's definitely top 3. If you're an Alien fan, I would say gotta watch it just to appreciate it. Or if you're a Prometheus or a Covenant fan as well, because I'd probably put Covenant or not Covenant. I'd probably put Prometheus at like the 4th best Alien film as well. But I don't know if Jeff's screaming because of my bad taste or I heard.
The silent screaming.
yeah,
He just grabbed your bro.
yeah. I was saying this to
You better
myself.
back your shit up, homeboy. I will Texas Chainsaw Massacre your dumbass.
And then I'd probably give it a 9 because I'm just disappointed with the Rook stuff mainly. Like if it was really just a different android, if they didn't try to bring back the actor, like I feel like it would have been perfect.
Okay. That's fair. Yeah. All right. You're me, Alex. I'm just kidding.
You can go.
Okay. I think I'll probably be the lowest score of tonight because I did enjoy this movie. I really felt like it satiated that alien craving that I've had for like at this point, 2012, decades. And it gave me what I've been looking for in an alien film. It really did try to hone in on the horror. I don't think it did its best job at it, but it did try. Yeah. It was creative in its spots. The pregnancy scene, the kills in this one being just very creative, especially using a bit more of the elements that Alien has going for it that just kind of get talked about and it's like, oh my god, it's so scary. But then you get to see it in action, like seeing homeboy die with the alien, the alien, the acid was like just such a cool scene. But there are so many points that are damning for this film that it kind of drags it down. I don't like the main character. I don't like that she gets saved by the fucking alien in the elevator scene. That was weird to me. And just following her around was very boring. I just didn't like her at all. Andy, though, was like a shining moment. So this movie's like really turbulent, but I did still have a great time, and I really did appreciate that this was made. Yeah, so.
My only thought, because I also thought it was weird that it saved her, and then the only logic I have is it's like, well, she just killed a bunch of its brethren. Like it probably saved her so that it could reproduce.
Yeah, it saved her so it could come in her. Come on, guys. Simple alien lore.
But I feel like, because like it's her and then Dora at the end, and Dora's gone. Like to the aliens' knowledge, it's like Dora's gone. This is the only human left on this shit that I can use to reproduce.
I like how we're just referencing her as Dora through this whole fucking thing.
Honestly, I
didn't.
I had forgotten, or I didn't know Rain's name until like towards the end, when they just kept being like Rain. I'm like, oh, that's her name.
Yeah, me too.
Really? Oh,
yeah.
Her name was pretty obvious from the beginning.
That was my only like question,
Okay,
and then like answer my own question of just like, well, it probably saved her because it wants to use her to maybe not be a queen, but just like an incubator.
I guess so. I don't know. I don't like that I have to do that kind of mental logic or those kind of mental gymnastics.
Some people don't like it when they give you the answer, and then when you think, you don't like it.
What? You know what? How do I kick them?
Wrong? There's people who like, oh, I want to think abstract thoughts for myself. Bad movie. And then it's like, oh, they answered the question for me. Or it's too vague and I can't think. No big brain. Good brain.
Anyway, moments like that. But like I said, it really did. It did fit that alien, that need for like good alien content that we haven't had in a long time. That said, as far as how this stacks up, I do agree. It's definitely a top 3. I need to go back and finish the series, like just to get a refresh and a brand new look at it.
Good luck.
Yeah, I'm not gonna make it through 3 and 4, but I will watch the Prometheus series and probably AVP because I have not seen those. I don't think I've ever seen those. Yeah. So like, with that in mind, I feel like this. I'm gonna say the vibe of Alien. I think it is better than Aliens. I still enjoyed Aliens, but I think that's 3 now. I think this takes 2. I would watch this again, but 1 will still forever remain king as like what I feel like Alien absolutely should be. But it was nice to see Fede kind of swing for the fences, do some creative stuff, still keep it safe, and really entice like new fans. It was really cool watching like Maisha's experience of like getting into this kind of franchise, because I really didn't think this would be like her wheelhouse. So for me, I gave this film originally a 7 when I was talking to some friends. But now I think I'm going to backslide a little bit, and the number that keeps coming in my head is like a 6.15. Like that number just feels right.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah, I don't know why. It just it harkens on that line of like it's.
I'd watch it again. 6.15. I ain't watching anything again if it's not a 9.5.
I would watch it again. It's better than average. It's the only thing that's like new and alien.
Hey, 6 is still okay.
Shut up.
All right.
6 centimeters.
Yeah. Oh.
But yeah, I had fun with it. I think it served its purpose, and I do hope that this sets a precedence for the future as far as like more franchises go. I don't want to seek a direct sequel to this though. I don't. I want to see like maybe the alien human makes it or some shit. Like if they really want to tie this to it, like do something with the aftermath of what happened, but let Rain have her day, because I just feel like that'd be kind of cheesy to shoehorn her into another situation. So yeah, that's where I'm gonna put it. Is my 6.15. All right, Alex, close us out.
Yeah, I mean, I think the whole world is in agreement. This is top 3. However you want to order it, you want to order it. But after those top 3, like it really doesn't matter. Even if you like Prometheus, Covenant, like it just doesn't matter. Like those are the top 3. As far as the future goes, like I definitely consume. Like I get excited for alien content. So I'll consume the show for sure. I just want to see what it's about. But I do like that like space horror aesthetic. Like this, I told Dominic this could have been like a Dead Space movie as well.
Ooh.
Oh,
like,
hell yeah.
Like Fede should definitely make a Dead Space movie. Like I don't know, it just I like that. I like that. So it being called Alien Earth just kind of I don't want another Requiem. Like I don't want to see normal life and then a xenomorph running around. Like that's just boring to me. Feels like Toy Story or some shit. Yeah, so I'm just excited. I mean, both franchises have recent projects that have can propel it to like really, really good heights. Like Prey, that's like actually a Predator movie you can take serious, and then Romulus is one you can take serious as well. So
Yeah.
I feel like I'm not opposed to the idea of a new AVP with like these new people in hand, and make like a serious take on it. Even though it's called Alien vs Predator.
I feel like it's too cheesy to be taken seriously.
Yeah. But like at least like not as corny as the last two. But both franchises, I'm excited because both franchises are in a good spot right now. Right now. Do I want a sequel on this one? I mean, I want more Fede sci-fi horror. I want him to keep going. I would like this to be kind of like, I know we're not gonna get it, but I know they're gonna force feed the main actress, which I didn't have a problem with her, but like this made money. She's left on a shift with Andy. Like if I get more Andy stuff, like I'm happy.
One more thing though, now that you say that, this movie, do you guys know the budget for this film?
Probably a lot.
Do you guys want to guess?
I know how much it made over the weekend, but I don't know
What's a normal like what did we figure out was a normal budget?
I think a typical budget somewhere like 100 to 110 million. Is that what we agreed upon?
200 million is general
That's-
now.
That's what I said.
200
No, I
million.
feel like I feel like that's too much.
That's the high end.
Marvel?
That's the high end because like Marvel films are like 240 ish.
I feel like anywhere from 20 to 50 million is like a standard.
Nah, I'm gonna say like 112.
Yeah, I think like
112 on this one.
I'm
112.
say 150.
Because like we saw the cast list, I'm like, wait, it's done. It was just
Yeah, it was just like
it
an
was just
eight-
it was 8 people. I'm like, that's cool.
Yeah. So you said 112.
I'll say 112.
What do you say, Anakin?
said 150.
150. Dom.
It's like 80 million.
80 million.
Oh.
And then Jeff.
We're guessing what the budget on
Budget
for
yeah.
this film?
Yeah, for Romulus.
Ooh. Yeah, anywhere from like 110 to 130. I don't know.
Well, Dom cheated because he got it directly on the head. This was an $80 million production.
Damn.
Yeah. Yeah.
I saw it's already made its budget back.
It has. It made the box office of 108.2 over the weekend so far. So
It's like
Yeah, that doesn't
highest-
include like marketing costs and all that extra
It's the
shit.
second highest grossing, I think, like
Look at that.
Alien film like premiere,
Oh.
and then it like dethroned, I think, Deadpool and stuff this weekend. So
good. That's
it's a pretty good,
Well,
solid
that
first
one's
week.
been out for a while, so
Yeah, but there was some. I thought there was some film that came out recently that was like didn't even budge Deadpool, and I forget what other film. But I feel like for the first weekend to like make 108 million on a budget of 80, like
That's pretty tough.
it's a good sign.
Yeah,
Hopefully
'cause,
they
like-
just keep making good choices of giving it to directors like Fede.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we'll see the second weekend too, like how much it drops from the first weekend. Because the
Good
second
point.
weekend's, if it does good on the second weekend, that's
That's a good sign.
good for the studio. Yeah.
Yeah. Deadpool Wolverine was $200 million budget. So just to compare. But right now that's making 1.143 billion. That's a B, not an M. So I'm sorry, Alex. Finish it off.
Yeah, you need my score.
I was blue ball in the audience. They probably clicked.
Oh yeah, okay. Yeah, this definitely filled the craving, and definitely put Fede on my list of like directors to look for, especially for horror and just anything horror. I've liked the movies I've seen. I was at a 9 when I walked out of the theater. 9 out of 10. I think honestly the last 25 minutes I was cool with. It was the whole elevator scene that took me out of it. That was just cheesy, especially like Andy like nose diving, and then when he lands, it's like the most gentlest like land. Like I get you're a synth, but like
Come on.
that impact should have been way bigger than you just kind of and then just shooting. I was like, So I left at a 9.
Oh, wait,
kind of thinking back on it.
You're frozen on my screen.
Yeah, my phone
Holy
died.
shit.
oh shit.
That
been
is the
recording.
most. That's the most horrifying image I've ever seen.
You look so pretentious.
Wow.
It's like
better than
the
that.
signature look of superiority. That's what you look like.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know.
9.5. My score's 9.5.
I'm sorry. Now you see how Dominic feels. 9.5. This is the score. Okay.
Yeah.
Holy shit.
Learn from your mistakes.
Oh, okay.
Oh, there you go.
I don't know why I did that.
Well, that is one interesting score. This gets
9.5.
no, not your score. The average. 69.
Oh.
How'd you guess that? What the fuck, guys? 8.69 is our score.
Nice.
Hell yeah.
Nice.
That's gonna round it out. Yeah, I guess that's it.
It's up to you. You gotta exit us out.
I gotta cut us out. Okay.
Jeff is dead.
Well, I mean, I could do it just by ambient voice, but
I mean, you've got the voice for it, Jeff. I'm just the moderator. Do your thing.
We'll just put Rook in place of your profile picture.
yeah,
That's perfect. Hang on.
the new directive.
There we go. All right.
The new directive, subscribe to 127.
Yeah.
Your new directive.
All right. Well, you guys heard it here. It's an 8.69 here at 127 Studios. So, like and subscribe. Comment down below. What do you think of Alien Romulus? What do you think of the Alien franchise? Where do you think the future of this franchise is going to be? And you know, comment down below. Did anybody have any takes that you didn't care for? You know,
What's your score?
let us know. What's your score? All that jazz down below. Like I said, like and subscribe. Hit the bell notification so you get notified when we talk about more films. We have a podcast at the end of every month. Trailer reacts every Mondays and Wednesdays. Share button. Share this with your friends. That's all I got.
Woo! All right.
Some sort of Romulus alien?
Shut up.
The fuck?
What does it even mean?